It's Friday, September 6th. In the headlines, Water Valley Primary calls for help, while the Education Ministry works to increase e-learning resources. In business news, Staten reports higher transport costs for the year. Regionally, we look at how e-learning is revolutionizing education in Trinidad and Tobago. And in sports, Reggae Boys to face Cuba at the office on Friday. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. There's an urgent call for the Ministry of Education and Youth to give some attention to Water Valley Primary School in St. Mary. This as teachers are complaining about termites falling from rain-damaged ceilings in 3 classrooms. Principal Hyacinth Gale says the affected classrooms are used by students preparing to do the already stressful Primary Exit Profile Examinations, PEP. She told the press that the school struggled with this problem even before she became principal, and it has remained unaddressed even though she has repeatedly sought help from the Ministry of Education. She explains that her teachers will have to resort to having classes in the school's auditorium, but she says this is just a temporary fix to a huge problem. As the first week of the new school year comes to an end, teachers and students are settling into their routines. Most schools across the country have reported a smooth start, with some institutions focusing on addressing learning gaps and others implementing new protocols. Our news team visited Spanish Town Primary, where Principal Roger Curlew shared insights on how the first week has unfolded.
As a new school day kicks off, Principal of Spanish Town Primary, Roger Curlew, warmly greets students as they make their way to their respective classrooms. Unlike many other schools, Spanish Town Primary was fortunate to escape significant damage when Hurricane Beryl struck the island on July 3. According to Mr. Curlew, the school sustained only minor damages, allowing them to quickly resume normal operations.
Well, we feared off well. We just had a little bit electrical issues at one of our grade 2 blocks. Some wires were burnt out. I don't know how that happened, but apart from that, our roof quite okay. The classrooms and windows were intact. So thank God for that. Just some minor damages.
Reflecting on the start of the new school year, Mr. Curlew shared his optimism, noting that the first week has gone smoothly. He expressed confidence that the positive momentum will continue throughout the rest of the academic year.
We're great, and I think where we're great, how we started with a bang. We did a march, the first we're doing it, from below Jonathan Grant, second gate, right onto the campus. We did that on Monday on both ships, parents, students, admin, support staff, because here we're a family. So we did that march with the help of the police, and I think this year is different from the other years because this march, with the marching band and all of that, it created some excitement, and the teachers are very enthusiastic, and the parents felt excited likewise than the students, so we started well.
He shared that thanks to support from the Bank of Nova Scotia, the school was able to ease the financial burden on parents during the back-to-school transition. This initiative provided crucial assistance to families, making the start of the new academic year more manageable.
We kind of try to find out from the parents of the challenges, and thank God this year for the first Scotia Bank Oasis branch, our school was chosen. And all of our present grade 6 cohort got book vouchers and stationaries for back to school. And our parents were also invited. It was done, I think, last Friday. So it actually made it easier for our parents because the books are very expensive and back to school is an expensive venture. And so even through the guidance department, we tried to, even during the holiday, to assist our parents with food supplies as best as we can. and some of our students, when we get sponsors regarding stationery, we assist parents with that too.
Ensuring the safety of students and staff remains a top priority. According to Mr. Curlew, comprehensive measures have been implemented to protect everyone within the school community.
As related to safety and security, our perimeter fence is in order, it's okay. But I spoke to the Kiwanis Club, we're going to be getting a warden at the gate to enable children to be crossing in the mornings and afternoon. We have tightened up security at the gate in terms of our watchman that is there. We now have our radios where I can talk with them there. He can call me if there's an emergency. My VPs have a radio also, so we can keep the communication line up and running. When the students leave in the afternoons, we have parents who volunteer to come and be at the gate to see what's happening, to observe, to make sure that everything is in order.
Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
The Ministry of Education and Youth is ramping up efforts to enhance learning resources for students from primary to high school. Education Minister Favour Williams announced that detailed information on how to access these resources is now available. During this week's post-cabinet press briefing, Minister Williams urged parents to stay engaged and highlighted some of the resources currently accessible for students.
We want parents to know that students in grades 1 to 3, for those students, the ministry provides math workbooks. For those in grades 4 to 6, the ministry provides math, language arts, science, and social studies. These books stay in the system for approximately 3 years and should not be purchased by the parents. So asking parents to pay attention, ask questions of the teachers. The bulletin went out and I believe that it contained extensive information.
Minister Williams also took the opportunity to remind viewers that e-resources are available at no cost. She highlighted where these resources can be accessed, encouraging everyone to take advantage of the free educational tools.
I want to reiterate again this year that e-resources are available at no additional cost to students at both the primary and secondary level. Grade 4 students will continue to have fully funded access to the Learning Hub online platform. Grade 6 students will have fully funded access to the Cheetah per practice books available on the Book Fusion platforms. And grades 1 to 3 students will have full access to the Jamaica Learning Password.
The use of social media has become a daily necessity in today's culture. It is primarily used for accessing news and information, decision-making, and social interaction. While social media is useful for sharing, creating, and communicating with people locally and globally, many have varying views on its usefulness. Brittany Walker explores social media in this report.
Social media platforms serve as vibrant arenas for universal conversations. They empower the young and old alike to share ideas, shape communities, and mobilize an environment for action. From climate change to politics, these digital spaces provide a stage for people to speak truth to power.
Well, I think it's more positive than negative as relates to the impact. For the reasons that you have a lot of entrepreneurs using this platform, people are discovering their skills through using social media. Yes, it's used in a negative way for, in some cases, but I think it's doing more good. It allows us to be more aware of what's going on, because normally we would be dependent on traditional media.
It can be a voice for someone because it has a wide range, and there are people who really may need the assistance of social media. Well, YouTube, is one of my favorite channel, because you get your gospel on it, your music, gospel music, and other things, that people may be going through. And so it has its advantage and its disadvantage. So you have to just scroll over the negative because you can observe and see what's maybe going to be coming up, so you avoid that.
Yes, social media is a voice to the society. It can promote good and it can promote bad. You understand? For example, you have something you want to promote, you go up on social media, it reaches the society so fast. You have bad news, you go put it on social media, it reaches society very fast. You understand? But it's how you go about going on social media.
According to Judith Forbes, Assistant Director at the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, there is no doubt our society is suffering from a digital addiction. She highlighted that the addictive nature of social media platforms can lead to excessive screen time and an obsession with likes, comments, and followers. This can have negative effects on productivity, affect relative reality, and overall well-being.
For me, social media, I don't really rate it. It helps so much. If you realize that the young people in the society, everybody focus on that now. Even at the workplace. You understand? Even at the workplace, them focus on social media more than even the work them do. If you go around and you observe, even the police and the soldiers, if you notice the social media have everybody in them phone.
I don't really follow up social media like that, to be honest. Because all you see, either you see some naked phone, some derogative things. I don't really watch social media. I think it makes sense. You kill your brain cells.
Basically, you don't know you have positive and you also have negative. So you're going to have the positive side and you're going to have the negative, you understand? So, but you have to basically try to how to work around it, you understand, by staying in your positive field. Because you can't really tell a person what to do. You may say it's their choice, whatever positive or negative they choose.
Social media also allows young people to open up about issues such as mental health, sexuality, and personal gratification. Recounting one's own encounters on social media has not only amplified voices virtually, but voices outside of these purviews as well.
I think social media can be a voice because some kids, they need guidance and they don't have the adults in their life. So they will use social media as a way to contact or to reach out to others to see if they can get the relation that they would normally get at home online. It impacted my life a great deal because I see kids watching their weight because of how they see the models, and I see how some music changed some kids that I know from I was younger to this person I can't even recognize anymore.
And the topic would be male and female equality. At first I thought about genders are equal, but using social media more and gaining information on it, I have now changed my opinion on it, as it being both genders, they don't stand on the same ground. Because male and female, they have different characteristics, and not saying that any one of them is better, I just feel like each complement each one of them, and so my opinion has changed by using social media.
So monetary-wise, as we know right now, social media is a source of income. We see where social media influencer and just the general public is benefiting monetary from social media. So that is a plus for us.
Yes, I have seen a lot of stuff, especially in regards to business, that has changed my mind and impacted me positively in regards to the world and business on a whole. In regards to what I've seen things in regards to investing, and it has impacted my life in terms of affecting my spending habits. So it makes me become a more practical person in how I spend and how I view money.
Social media provides the ability to raise awareness about issues we care about. Oftentimes, social media is the medium we use to unravel puzzling situations or issues around Jamaica and the world. It provides an outlet to share information and receive knowledge. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Brittany Walker.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone. And thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. For investors focused on passive income, Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited has declared a dividend of 41 Jamaican cents per share payable on October 16, 2024 to shareholders on record as at September 23, 2024. The ex-dividend date is September 23, 2024. Education technology firm Edufocal has reported a loss of 12.19 million Jamaican dollars for its second quarter ending June 2024. In the similar period last year, the company made a profit of $23.45 million. The company says this was a result of a strategic shift towards what it considers more predictable, reoccurring revenue streams. Edufocal says its investments in the Amigo platform, expected revenue growth, cost management, and technological innovation should boost profitability in the quarters to come. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica notes that there were higher transport costs for the year ended July. Statin says the point-to-point inflation rate for this category was 11.5%. Looking at the transport division's performance for the month of July alone, prices went up by an average of 0.4%. The main factors that impacted this were higher petrol prices, along with increased toll rates for the east-west leg of Highway 2000. During trading for the period September 5, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Agriculture and shipping conglomerate Jamaica Producers Group Limited, with 22,429,951 units, represented 40.23% of the total market value in terms of sales. Financial conglomerate NCB Financial Group Limited, with 6,724,506 units, represented 12.06% of the total market value in terms of sales. Grace Kennedy Limited, with 4,773,822 units, represented 8.56% of the total market value in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the stock market, we turn to the Forex market. On September 5, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $52.37 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $49.65 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $158.29 and bought the US dollar for $156.56. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.73, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $1.53 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold for $117.75 and bought for $116.22. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $1.10, selling it for $207.57 and buying it for $206.47. For our credit report tip of the day, we remind you that the back-to-school season can dent your credit score because of the increasing cost of supplies, clothing, extracurricular activities. But you can rebuild your credit score. You can prepare for your next financial milestone, whether it's a car, renovating your home, qualifying for a mortgage. And so we offer this idea. Consider a credit builder loan. If your credit score needs more substantial rebuilding, a credit builder loan from your financial institution can help. These loans are designed to help you establish or rebuild credit while saving money. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, in Trinidad and Tobago, technology is transforming the educational landscape, as highlighted in this week's Tech Bites by TTT's Sherilyn Lewis. The segment delves into the rising popularity of e-learning and its impact on local education.
With the advent of technology, the learning landscape has changed. And while globally many embrace this change years ago, in TNT following the COVID-19 pandemic, digital learning via laptop or smartphones is now acceptable. We explore the benefits and prospects of e-learning. E-learning traces back to the early days of computer-based training in the 1960s and 70s. However, in the 1990s, e-learning began to gain significant traction. In Trinidad and Tobago, e-learning platforms are web-based, interactive, and very user-friendly. Managing Director of Hazarechi Technologies, an educational digital platform that launched a few years ago, share their gamification model for learning.
At Hazarechi Technologies, we have what we call learning through gamification. So our platform deals with kids understanding the basics of financial literacy. It's built onto one of the most popular programming languages, and the reason why it's a dual combination as this, because it allows for easy integration into other systems and for it to interrelate with other programming languages.
And one founder of an online academy that uses simpler tech like Google platforms for a full-time secondary school experience debunked the notion that children can't fully transition from physical to online schooling.
The transformation from physical to online, again, is not a big deal for most students because they would have been accustomed with it for 2 to 3 years during COVID anyway. So they are quite familiar with the teaching methods, they are quite familiar with the platforms that they use. So it was just a matter of now having a choice. Our classes are internet-based because we love to give the students the opportunity for interaction. So one of the platforms that we use is Zoom. So just as we are having a conversation here, our students have the ability to see us, to hear us, and open up discussions with us.
And as for the benefits of e-learning or digital learning, according to Mrs. Balkaran Raghunanan, persons with learning deficiencies or who are differently abled tend to prefer digital learning over in person.
Students get to learn from the comfort of their own homes. They don't have to get up extremely early and deal with traffic. Going to school, sometimes they face many issues there. So now they are more in a comfort zone. They learn at their own pace because we pace students according to their individual pace and learning styles. And some students even are CXC ready much earlier than they would take in a normal secondary school. So they enjoy the fact and the flexibility that I could be ready for 2 to 3 subjects by Form 2.
In St Lucia, the Environmental Health Division is ramping up its battle against dengue fever with a series of intensified measures. These efforts include comprehensive house-to-house inspections and widespread community initiatives designed to curb mosquito populations and safeguard public health. More in this HTS News Force report.
As concerns grew over a potential dengue fever outbreak, St Lucia's Environmental Health Division has launched a comprehensive campaign to combat the spread of the mosquito-borne disease. Glenda Etienne Sipal, Environmental Health Officer, outlined the division's multifaceted approach.
We have implemented a series of measures to mitigate the risk of mosquito-borne diseases. The Environmental Health Division's initiatives include 1. House-to-house inspections to continue identify and eliminating mosquito breeding grounds in various communities around the island. 2. Identification and treatment of abandoned or open water sources. 3. Ongoing vector education with targeted groups, providing information about vector breeding habitats and behaviors while providing tips for controlling vectors in and around the home. 4. ongoing fogging operation, which includes assessment and fogging of schools prior to the reopening of schools. Extensive assessments and targeted fogging operations have been conducted to eliminate mosquito breeding sites and reduce mosquito populations.
The division has implemented various initiatives to combat dengue fever, including house-to-house inspections. These measures aim to reduce mosquito populations and protect public health. However, the division stressed the need for community-wide efforts.
Community fogging operations. Following the school interventions, community-wide fogging will commence, focusing on areas identified as having high mosquito indices. This effort aims to reduce mosquito populations and curb the spread of dengue fever within our neighborhoods. 5. Cleanup initiatives with targeted communities, engaging in the removal of items with the potential to hold water and harbor mosquitoes and rats. While these public health measures are crucial, the fight against mosquitoes and dengue fever requires collective effort. We urge the community to take personal responsibility in controlling mosquito breeding sites around their immediate environments. Your efforts should be targeted in your home. Fogging on its own will only take care of the adult mosquitoes, leaving the larvae to continue in its development into new generations of mosquitoes days after fogging.
CPAL reiterated the division's commitment to protecting the community.
So be mindful and vigilant of the 4 stages of the mosquitoes by tossing standing water to eliminate larvae and pupa. Scrub the side of the containers to dislodge mosquito eggs before refilling.
In sports, today is all about football as the Reggae Boys gear up to face Cuba in the CONCACAF Nations League at the National Stadium this evening at 7 p.m. Reggae Boys head coach Stephen McLaren will be keeping it simple when he steps into his first competitive game at the helm of the national program. The former Manchester United assistant coach says the priority will be to keep the same principles and foundation which have been laid by former head coach Hamir Halgimson. This will be Jamaica's first game against Cuba since their last meeting in 2015, where the boys won 3-0. He stated at a recent press brief that a positive result against Cuba will be the first step in a long-term plan of moving up the FIFA World Rankings, as well as qualification to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Here's a look at the squad list. The Trinidad and Tobago senior men's national football team has arrived in Honduras, where they are set to take on their host in their opening match of Group B of League A in the CONCACAF Nations League.
After almost 3 months since their last competitive match against the Bahamas in their World Cup qualifier in June, the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football national team have arrived in Honduras to begin the start of the 2024-2025 CONCACAF Nations League campaign when they come up against their host at 10 p.m. this Friday, which is to be followed by a home fixture against French Guiana on Tuesday at the Dwight York Stadium in Tobago. The Soca Warriors, who are in Group B of League A in the tournament, would also see newly appointed caretaker coach Derek King take charge of his first 2 matches following the dismissal of former head coach Angus Eve in July.
Yeah, it's excited to lead Trinidad and Tobago national senior team. We have arrived here in Honduras. All the players will arrive today. Tomorrow, please God, we'll train twice, and the following day we'll have a normal session before the game on Friday. I think it's very excited. The challenge ahead. As I said, for us to compete with the top teams in CONCACAF, we have to come in places like this and get a result as well.
Adrian Lazar, TTT Sport.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.